Alright, welcome in everyone. LUFOELT coming to you with another speaking strategy video. This video comes at the request of one of my subscribers, and what we're going to be talking about today is 4 ways to agree with someone in a conversation. More specifically, we're going to be talking about how to use the words so, to, either, and neither to agree with someone in a conversation. So how do we do that? Well, that's what we're going to get into today, and please stick around till the end of the video because there's a quiz and a little bonus exercise at the end to help make sure that you understand the lesson today. Okay, so using either and neither especially is something that makes non-native speakers feel confused. They feel confused about when should they use either, when should they use neither. So I hope that by the end of the video today, you will be able to feel a lot more confident and know when to use either, when to use neither, and the other words as well. So let's get into some of the basics. First of all, so, to, either, and neither are all used to agree with what someone else has already said. So you're going to be responding to someone and agreeing with them when you use one of these 4 words. All right. Also, when we use one of these 4 words, we use them together with the same verb type and the same tense as the person you're agreeing with. So if the person you are agreeing with has used a action verb, you also need to use an action verb. If the verb is in past tense, then you also need to use the verb in past tense. If they use a be verb in present tense, you also need to use a be verb in present tense. Remember, we're responding to what someone else has already said, and we're agreeing with them, so the verb type and tense has to be the same as the person you're agreeing with. So keep that in mind as well. And I'm going to show you examples of all of this stuff, okay? So, and the third basic I want to go over is how to use so and to agree with an affirmative positive statement. So for example, I am hungry. So this is a affirmative or positive statement. Just in case someone doesn't know what affirmative or positive means, I just want to show the example here. It means yes, right? Something means yes, I am hungry, or I do something, or I did something. It has positive meaning. And when we use either and neither, they are going together with negative statements. So when we have no in the statement somewhere. So we're agreeing, but with negative statements. So for example, I'm not hungry, or I did not do something, or I do not like something. Whenever we have no or not in the sentence, and we want to agree, then we'll use either and neither. Okay, so already you can start to see when we use one or the other. So now what we're going to do is go through each one of these words, and I'm going to tell you specifically how to use it. Okay, so first we're going to look at so and to for agreeing with affirmative statements. Okay, so the first one, so, when we use so to agree, we use the same verb type and tense, as I've already said, with the person you're agreeing with. So for example, I am hungry. So when you want to agree with that, you could say, so am I. All right, you can see here that the verb type is the be verb and the tense is simple present tense. So we're agreeing with them, and we're also using the same verb type and the same verb tense. All right, here's another example. I like pizza, so do I. All right, so same thing. It's a regular action verb and present simple tense. Okay, and the third example, I ate pizza last night. All right, so here what we see is the be verb, or excuse me, action verb, and it's in past tense. All right, irregular action verb in past tense. All right, so when we agree with this, we also need to use the same verb type and tense. Okay? And also, when you're using so to agree, you must omit the noun and other mutually understood information when you use so to agree with an affirmative statement. So, for example, I am hungry. When you agree with that, you say, so am I. You don't say, so am I hungry, right? We get rid of that noun there. All right, so you omit the noun. All right, here's another example. I like pizza. So when we want to agree with this using so, we say, so do I. We don't say, so do I like pizza. You can get rid of that. Okay, and also for this third example here, mutually understood information. So if someone said, I ate pizza last night, you can agree with them. If you also had pizza, you could say, so did I. You don't have to say, so did I ate pizza last night, or so did I eat pizza last night. That information is already understood between the person speaking and you. Okay, so you don't have to repeat that. You should not repeat that. All right, so omit the noun and other mutually understood information. All right, now moving on to the second way of agreeing with an affirmative statement. The rules for using to are very similar. All right, we're going to use the same verb type and tense. So I have the same examples here just to show you. You can compare this with how you use so. I am hungry. I am too. Or I like pizza. I do too. Or I ate pizza last night. I did too. Okay, so we're using the same verb type and tense as the person we're agreeing with. Of course, you can see that with so, it comes at the beginning of the sentence, and with to, it comes at the end of the sentence. Now, here's a difference between using so and to. With so, you must omit nouns and mutually understood information, but when you're using to, you do not have to get rid of those nouns and other mutually understood information. You can, but you don't have to. With so, you do have to get rid of those, okay? And if you do not omit those nouns and other information, you can repeat exactly what the other person says and just add to at the end of it. So let's take a look. I am hungry. And if you want to agree, you can say, I am hungry too, or just, I am too. Okay, so the first example, we're just repeating exactly what the other person says. And the second example, we are omitting the noun. All right, let's take a look at another example here. Example number 2, I like pizza. I like pizza too, or I like it too, or I do too. These are all okay. All right, so once again, you can omit the nouns, but if you don't, you can also repeat exactly what the other person says. And in the second example here, we just switch pizza to it using pronoun because this information is mutually understood. What it means, it is pizza. Okay, so for the third example, I ate pizza last night. You could say, I ate pizza last night too, or I did too, like this. Okay, so these are the ways that you can agree with someone in an affirmative statement using so or to. Okay, now we're going to look at using either and neither to agree with someone in a conversation. So here we're agreeing with negative statements. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one, using neither to agree. Once again, you're going to use the same verb type and tense as the person you're agreeing with. So for example, once again, I'm just using very same examples as with the first two, just so that you can compare how we're using them. So I am not hungry. Here you're going to say, neither am I. Okay? And so in the first sentence, it says, am not. And so you have am, the be verb, present tense, right? And not to make it negative. So when you want to agree with that person, am is the same, and the negative part comes at the beginning of either, neither. All right, you're using the n there to make it negative. Neither am I. Right? Okay, and I don't like pizza. You will say, neither do I. All right, so once again, using the same verb type and tense and agreeing with the negative. So the negative part here comes at the beginning of the word neither, and the verb type and tense are the same. All right, and I didn't eat pizza last night, and neither did I. So once again, using the same verb type and tense as the person you're agreeing with, okay? And when you use neither to agree, once again, you must omit the noun, get rid of the noun and other mutually understood information, okay? So you'll say, I am not hungry. You'll say, neither am I. You do not say, neither am I hungry. Do not say that, okay? And also, I don't like pizza. You'll say, neither do I. You don't say, neither do I like pizza. You do not have to say that. Get rid of those nouns and that other mutually understood information. And with the third example, I didn't eat pizza last night. Just say, neither did I. You don't have to talk about pizza. You don't have to talk about last night. All right? So that's how you use neither to agree with a negative statement in a conversation. All right, and now let's talk about using either to agree with a negative statement in a conversation. And guess what? It's the same. Use the same verb type and tense as the person you're agreeing with. So, I'm not hungry. Here you're going to say, I'm not either. All right, so with neither, the negative part of the sentence is part of that word. But with either, we have to also include the word not, all right, to agree. Let's take a look at another sentence. I don't like pizza. I don't either. All right. So you can compare and contrast this with how to use neither. You can see here that the negative part, again, is on the word don't. All right. And the third example, I didn't eat pizza last night. And then you can agree with that by saying, I didn't either. All right. So once again, very similar to how we use to agree with affirmative statement, using either to agree with a negative statement, you can but don't have to omit nouns and other mutually understood information. And if you do not omit the nouns and other information, you can once again repeat exactly as the other person says and just add either to the end. Okay, so for example, I'm not hungry. You could say I'm not either, or you could say I'm not hungry either. All right, so this is very similar to the structure of how we use to agree. All right, I don't like pizza. I don't either. I don't like pizza either. I don't like it either. You could say any of those. All right, and for the third example, I didn't eat pizza last night. You could say, I didn't either. I didn't eat pizza last night either. I didn't eat it either, like this, to agree. Okay, so just to summarize all of this, of how to agree, when we use so to agree, you must omit the noun and other mutually understood information when you're agreeing with an affirmative sentence. And when we use neither to agree with a negative statement, again, you must omit the noun and other mutually understood information. Okay, and these words come at the beginning of the sentence. So and neither are very similar in that way because you have to omit the nouns and the other information, and they both come at the beginning of the sentence. Now, when we use to agree with an affirmative statement, you don't have to omit the nouns or mutually understood information, and it comes at the end of the sentence, and that's the same with either. When you're agreeing with a negative statement, you don't have to omit the nouns or other mutually understood information, and it also comes at the end of the sentence. Okay, so I hope that this helps you to understand when you should use neither and when you should use either and how to use them. All right, and now what we're going to do is have a quick quiz to help make sure you understood this. Okay, so which is the correct response to the statement below? All right, I didn't like the movie. Okay, so which one is the correct response? If you're going to agree with this, you also didn't like the movie. How do we agree? Which one is the correct response to this sentence? Is it 1, I didn't neither? Is it 2, so did I? 3, neither did I? Or 4, either did I? Which one is the correct answer? All right, I'm going to show you the correct answer now. Okay, number 3, neither did I. Okay, because once again, you're omitting the nouns, and here you can see that neither comes at the beginning of the sentence, and that's why number 3 is the correct answer. Okay, let's take a look at another question. Which is the correct response to this statement below? I can't stand it when people sneeze or cough without covering their mouth. Okay, so which is the correct response? 1, I don't either. 2, I'm not either. 3, I can't either. Or 4, I didn't either. All right, so which one is the correct response? And here it is. I can't either. Okay, the reason why this is the correct answer and the other ones are incorrect is because we're using the same verb type and the same tense here. So number 3 has the same verb type and the other ones are all different. All right. Okay, let's look at another quick quiz question. Which one is the incorrect response to the statement below? Okay, incorrect. So which one is wrong? All right, which one is not an appropriate response to agree? So the sentence is, I hate hot dogs. Okay, so which one is the appropriate or inappropriate response? 1, so do I. 2, neither do I. 3, I don't like them either. 4, really? I think they're good. All right, which one is the incorrect response? I'm going to show you the answer now. All right, 2, neither do I. All right, because this statement is actually made in an affirmative way. They don't say, I don't like hot dogs. If they said, I don't like hot dogs, then you could also say, neither do I. But here they're saying, I hate hot dogs. So this is an affirmative statement. Even though the meaning is negative, it's saying you don't like something, the way that the sentence is structured is affirmative. I hate hot dogs. I do hate hot dogs. So you could say, so do I, right? Or I don't like them either. This is also agreeing. Number 4 is disagreeing, right? And so number 2 is negative, agreeing with a negative statement. But as I've told you, I hate hot dogs is an affirmative statement. So you can't use neither do I. Okay? All right. And the last quick quiz question here, which is the correct response to the statement below? I work 2 jobs. Okay, so which is the correct response to that? 1, so did I. 2, I do either. 3, neither do I. Or 4, so do I. All right, what is the correct response if you want to agree with the sentence, I work 2 jobs? And the answer is 4, so do I. Okay, number 1 is incorrect because the tense is wrong. Okay, and number 2 is totally incorrect. The sentence is just wrong. And because we never say I do either, you have to say I don't either. But this is an affirmative statement, so number 2 is out. And number 3 is what we would say to agree with a negative statement, but this is an affirmative statement. So number 4 is the correct answer. The verb type and the verb tense is the same, and we're agreeing with an affirmative statement. Okay, so you have to consider those 3 things. All right, and here's just a little additional exercise for you. You can get yourself a pencil and paper and read the sentences here. I have 5 sentences on the screen, and you can write down your response to agree with these sentences. So number 1, I always watch new movies at the theater. Okay, how would you respond to agree with this? Number 2, I don't know how to ride a bike. Okay, again, how would you respond to agree with this? Number 3, I'm usually a happy person. Okay, once again, how do you agree with this? Number 4, I have never tried bungee jumping. All right, write a sentence to agree with this. Number 5, I listened to that new song yesterday. All right, once again, write a sentence to agree with this. Now, there's more than one correct answer possible for each one of these, because you could use so or to or neither or either for any of them. Okay, and also don't worry about whether your response is actually true. Just write a sentence to agree with these sentences here on the screen. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and write your answers, and when you start the video again, I will show the answers. Okay, so pause the video. All right, and I'm going to show you the correct responses or possible answers right now. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so these are possible answers. And again, for some of these, there are even other possible answers. So if you have any questions about what answers you came up with, you can go ahead and leave a question in the comment section. Also, if you have any comments about the video, other comments about the video, feel free to leave them there, or requests for other videos, you can leave a comment in the comment section. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Thank you very much.